Good evening and welcome to the 10th AMA or Ask Me Anything session. My name is Kangshi and I'm the moderator of this session. I'm also a member of the Pet Chef team, and this is a partnership with Thinkly. Today we have with us Archanaa Singh, who is the founder of Aphrodite Paws. Thank you so much for joining with us today.
Thank you.
Welcome. So, like I always ask my guests, so tell us your story, the journey to Aphrodite Paws and Smokey and Charlie.
Oh, it almost started around, I would say, 1.5 years back from the corporate life, living that life for 20 years, and sudden realization, just thinking, what am I doing? Is this the path I want to go at? And by then I had my first pet. So journey started, I think, almost at that thinking must have started, which I did never realize. And he's a COVID baby. And post-COVID, when we had to step out for work or going out and stuff, that's when, as a parent, the realization hit me that, oh, now what to do next? Why? Because being in Bombay and in general, the response to pet other than your home is not the similar, right? And as you nurture them as almost as your child, you become very, very defensive and protective about them. So it kept happening that we had to cancel vacations, and then me, my son, the whole family was so concerned that after visiting almost every kennel in Bombay, we realized that we can't really keep him. Because the moment we used to get in, we used to feel that, okay, visually it looks like we'll get a shock of his life because he's never seen such a place till now. And he was almost a year and a half by then. So a lot of thinking started then. And every time when I had to go to work, it was almost like that. I'll take a drop with him to the office and then constantly be thinking about him. So that thinking started, which I never realized. But then I hit a button when I realized I really want to do something which is more to do with real care and passion. And knowingly, unknowingly, throughout my life, I think I've been really, really passionate about all kind of pets and been doing whatever little I could with time in hand. But when I finally decided to move on, so first thing that I did was resigning from the company. And I think in a matter of 6 to 8 months' time, I kept on thinking, do I really want to do this? What's the scope? What a future? Yes, there's a passion for my pet and I'll do a startup, and I'm sure there are many parents like me and blah, 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 many things happen. Then the actual thing started happening. Okay, if I want to start, where do I want to go? What do I want to create? So the journey started exactly 1 year back, 1st of March. And that's when the thinking started moving into action. And with the grace of the God, I would say that within a month's time, right from finding the right place to getting everything done, was done in a 1.5 months' time. And in the process, one of the conflicts was what should be the name. Of course, there was a marketing team who came up with a lot of ideas, and I kept saying that, hey, I don't want Paws, I don't want Woof. I want something which talks about the relationship that each one of us share with our pet as a child. So then it struck me that it's almost like Tom and Jerry. When you talk about if you have a kid at home or you are an alpha parent, then you are a Smokey or your pet is a Charlie. So that's where that name came from, as Smokey and Charlie. And I never knew that I'll get a second pet who came into my life around 6 and 8 months back. So now what I see at home is actual Smokey and Charlie every day.
Oh, that's lovely.
So that's a very sweet, small story about the foundation. But as in last 1 year's time, there's every day that I really look forward to come to work. Not, I'm sorry to the audience from corporate world, that not a single day when I had to see and give myself an excuse, okay, what is it that should motivate me to go to work today? Because not every day are same. I enjoyed my journey, but yes, not every day was the same. But here, every day, what brings me is thinking about, oh, there is X. Oh, there is Y. Oh, looking forward to each one of the pet at the center to come here and spend time knowing them and the kind of, again, the unconditional love that I get from each one of them. And I think that's been the foundation of the center.
That's lovely. And then when you find something that's your calling, things just get easier. Everything becomes more clear.
I must say that I think you're using the right word, calling, because that's what I felt. Because formation of a company, and then starting a journey. If things are moving positively with every thought of yours, I believe that's a calling.
So, you say you call yourself a pet wellness center or pet wellness boutique, and instead of a pet boarder. So, what separates you from the other home pet boarders?
So see, the identity of the center is it's a stay, right? It's a stay, but what kind of a stay is this? It's a stay where when a pet enters, the pet gets open space to explore and see, sniff around, explore, because that's the first sense they come from. Secondly, visually the place looks like your home. There is there's your living room, there's a room, and mostly each one of them are used to having a setup visually which looks like, oh, I have a sofa set, oh, I have toys, oh, I have place to jump, oh, I have to place to roll, right? Running around. So that's how that the wellness word comes from the fact of physical and emotional well-being. And what is important for a pet and to nurture a pet correctly is the emotional well-being, right? When they are coming away from their home, they are any which ways dealing with separation anxiety, no matter how playful they are. So the first sense visually that they should get is a place which is on the look of it, looks like somewhat their home. And then the warmth that they get from the people here. And why wellness center? Because here we provide boutique stay. Here we provide grooming services, which is as basic as like we give them bath at home, giving them proper oil massages, and then taking them to a bath, and then doing drying and stuff, and letting them roll on the carpets and run around to dry themselves. That's what the place is. Third thing is we have the most important foundation of the place is, yes, I do come from a management background, but definitely I'm no expert when it comes to mental well-being of the pet. So the entire operation technically is run by doctors. We have a OPD, and so they function. So OPD also functions like this. If the pet is sick and someone wants to get them investigated or need a treatment, the whole place is exactly functions the way it functions for the boarders or the daycare or any other thing. So wellness idea is pet. When the moment we say pet friend, the connection is emotional. And that emotional well-being is more of a place where they can freely run around, do what they want to do, than actually being restrained every time and be pulling them and saying, no, you can't. No, don't do this. So that's where my thought came from.
See, what you're doing is honestly very important, because I know what it's like back when we had our first dog and we had to go away on holiday. It was very difficult back in the 90s to find somebody who'd have to pet sit or even send somebody to home boarding. I don't think that concept was even there. I think it was very, very few. So what you're doing is extremely, extremely important. So then the next thing I wanted to know is, what is your process? So how do people find you? Then what documentation is needed, and how just basically your entire process of getting in?
So first and most important thing is knowing well enough about the pet, because here when we talk about pet and we're saying that they are hanging around freely, what we need to know and have in place is their vaccination certificates. They should be in order, properly vaccinated. Secondly, is their tick and feed treatment is being done, and how back and how often, and any history of illness, kind of illness, and how often pet actually fell sick and the kind of medical condition a pet has. We've catered to pets, those who are physically disabled, and parents have chosen a place for the right reason, because they need proper physical care under medical supervision, as well as emotional care. Things like having those medical certificates in place is the first and most important thing. Second most important thing is the temperament of the pet. If pet is not friendly with humans, is not friendly with pets, if the pet is not friendly with pet, it's still doable. If it's not friendly with humans, that's where a challenge comes in. And mostly we try, and almost every pet, unless and until there is a family reference coming in and it's a close acquaintance, we always test temperament before we accept any kind of body. So these are some of the basic fundamentals that we try and follow.
So there's a questionnaire that you need to fill out as well before.
Yes, there is a proper form that a parent fills in for the first time when they have to use the facility.
And dogs can come at any age, or there is a specific?
No, all age is welcome. And again, as I mentioned, that if there's a special care needed, parent really need to guide us, help us, and that's what they do. To an extent, we have a live kitchen also. So that's the beauty, The thing is such that parents, we provide them fresh meals. So parents, those who are really, really passionate, they choose to send us a video of how they cook meal.
Mm-hmm.
And we try and follow the same. So the beauty is, I believe, what we give them as a confidence is that the way you try and take care of them at home, we try and replicate here. Not absolutely, we can't take your place, but definitely trying our best to create an environment for the pet wherein emotionally and physically they are in a better space.
Like a true home away from home.
That's true. See, our fundamental is built around care, affection, safety, and hygiene.
Mm-hmm.
All the companions and every staff member has these 4 things, which is very, very important as a foundation to service the company.
And do you take just dogs, or even cats can come?
Yes, cats too.
Oh, that's nice. So the next question now, once the dog comes in, so how do you prepare a pet to come stay with you? Do you do like a trial? And then tell us what is there an itinerary that a dog follows through the day? Tell us the entire day's process.
So as I mentioned, that first trial, when we kind of talk to parent, they come and visit. The beauty is that parents and those who are really committed parents, they always visit first, and we encourage them to be around because they are watching all the CCTVs at the reception and they are watching what their pet is doing while they are sitting here, so they can see what the pet is doing. The idea is always to encourage them to come and get the pet. Let them be and see what they're doing, and at least for one minimum 3 hours is what we say, and at least one meal is what they should have here. Because if pet is having a meal that somebody else's cooked, is a bigger achievement, because food is very, very emotional thing to them, right? So that's the trial we kind of plan for them. And for a regular boarding services, what we do, there is a proper schedule itinerary for every pet, every day, and every companion, which technically means a pet should have basis what they do at home, the walk time, the meal time, play time. Play time is divided into physical and mental, depending upon the temperament and the liking of the games, and at least 3 to 4 activities in a gap, and their rest time. Towards the end of the day, once they finish their evening walk, is when they get a proper, full body wiping and hair brushing and dead hair removal, so that they can sleep peacefully, and most importantly, they are safe and in a hygiene condition.
That's good. That's great. Then also, could you expand upon the kind of paperwork, the documentation needed to ensure a safe stay? And also, please tell us, why is it so important?
See, it's important because with pets, what happened, they can't speak. And starting point is that when I say that on the face of it, they all look fine. But most of the illnesses that come to them, or they pass it to somebody else, it comes from certain known infections and bacteria infections, and not a regular vaccination that they have undertaken. They got exposed and they were not vaccinated, and they're still suffering with something or the other, or they are carrying the most common problem is tick flea. And parvovirus is the thing we encountered few months back, and that's when we realized that it's very, very important to do our own health checkup once we board them, even if they're regular boarders. Because these infections can easily be passed on to the other pet, because they lick around, they play around, and they can transmit diseases to each other with those infections, with those things very fast. So it's very, very important when I say that the facility is hygienic, which means that every small thing around pet needs to be taken care of.
And also for if you want to open a dog wellness center, are there any special permissions required?
No,
Or
I don't think I really didn't have to go through that, because when you have doctors with you, they have their licenses, and the practicing is what they do. So primary and secondary care is what we do. Tertiary, definitely we're not in. So obviously the whole facility has the Medico go ahead, and Medico go ahead, when I say that they are practicing here and they are solo custodian to take care of each pet.
that's good. And you don't need any society permission or neighbors or anything of that sort.
Not really. We're not operating from an RWA kind of a setup. It's an independent bungalow kind of a setup where we are. So there's no RWA. So luckily, we actually didn't needed those permissions.
Okay, then that's lucky. How do you make sure pet parents feel that their pets are in good hands?
So, it's a very feeling driven question, and I think answers are with them. But what I feel is, what we try doing here is coming from the fact that how I want to see my pet, and some of the staffs, they have their pet, how they want to treat them, and are they in the best of the shape and best of the things that we've committed for the pets to be done? Are they being done or not? Regular updates, even a smallest thing, if a pet has not had meal, or for an example, is not active. So basically, accessibility to us is 24/7. If you're saying that, hey, I'll call you any moment, I'm really feeling low and I want to keep seeing my pet, you're absolutely fine. Call us, we'll connect you. Talk to your pet as many times you want, and there are number of updates that we send to them. If we find them doing something cute, new, different, we share that. Other than the regular activity driven and the committed protocol that we set for the day, apart from that, we do update parents with that. So I'm assuming that gives them the comfort.
Oh, knowing that you're accessible 24 hours is a big help. And of course, the photos and videos are another big help. We have a couple of questions that are coming in live. Deepa is asking, are there any reunions or special moments you cherish when pets are picked up?
So yes, there are occasions when there is a birthday, or let's say a small puppy coming to us for the first time, or if it's their first boarding, or it's their first outing. So we try and make it, again, a lot of conversations with parents, go back and forth. Okay, what does the pet like? For example, one of the pet, Oski is her name, and Oski came in here, and she was scared, and parents wanted her to have a pool date, and she was shit scared because for some reasons in the past that she got shit scared, and she was not really open to kind of coming out and roaming around and nothing. She was just confined to an area despite of such a huge area. So what we tried doing is that we didn't force anything. There was pool, there were all playful things around the pool, there were companions. And the way she, on her own, and little bit of comfort she sensed in the environment, she went till the pool. And now she is one of our regulars who comes here for pool dates, and she's quite happy about it.
That's lovely. I know I have my testimonial, which I'll probably share later. I remember how my dog just loved staying with you. Mayur is asking, can you share some tips for pet owners to maintain their pet's wellness at home?
I think most important thing is, and honestly, I learned this when I got into this. So it's my own learning, and I really want to extend this to all the parents. What we miss on at home is the quality time with pet, dedicated time with pet to engage with them, play with them, so that they should. So it's a two-way emotional relationship, right? They're forever chasing us throughout the house. How much time do we really give, and how many slots? Not one slot, 30 minutes done, okay, bye, right? How many slots do we give them dedicatedly to them? It's me time. It's our time, kind of a thing. I think that's very, very important. And second thing that I learned was every day ensuring that if not two, one session of purely giving them hygiene treatment. Truly, if we want them to be healthy, I think somewhere in our routine, we miss that. When I say hygiene routine, I mean to say that brushing them, uh, cleaning them up before they go to sleep or get up. There has to be some schedule for them, which is what is very, very important for their well-being.
Like a downtime.
Yes.
It's exactly like a toddler.
Correct.
Mohit is asking, do you offer any training or behavioral classes for pets during their stay?
We don't. So we got trained by well-established trainers. And when I use the word training, I'm a bit scared also at the same time, because there are different belief systems when you talk about training, right? So what we do here is that the whole staff is, if your pet is not trained on basic commands, and if he or she is coming here to stay, trust me, when they go back, if the tenure is more than 4 to 5 days, trust me, they'll learn, because that's the language we talk, and they are very, very smart to pick it up fast. So we do not provide training, but we are trained to take care of it, even the untrained pets, to bring them to that point. At least they are listening to the command and responding, because that's a level 1 communication we do with them.
So you have a proper trained staff that will handle your pet throughout their stay.
Yes. See, almost as I'm saying that we're completing a year now. 1st of May is when we started. Now 1st of May is around the corner, so we're just going to complete a year.
Wow.
And approximately, I would say 300 plus pets is what we've serviced till now. And each one of them have, in spite of the learning from the trainers, not one but different school of thinking trainers, now they have their own experience on breeds, on genders, on temperaments, on all kind of things.
And the pet parent has become more nuanced, especially with more information coming in and more access to things that were not previously before.
See, when you ask a lot of questions to the parent, so even if the parent is not too aware, it's not important also, and we never thought that it would be that important. But now I think with every passing day, they stay with us in our homes, and we mostly live in a flat system. Their hygiene, our hygiene, I think gradually we are becoming more aware and educated about it. But still, I think a long way to go. The journey has started, but it's a long way to go. So to those parents, when there are questions which are being posted on them, and especially I would again repeat on temperament. Okay, what does your pet like playing with? What does he do in the free time? What do you play with? And some very, very pointed questions, because those questions are important for us. Because we're just not letting them be, okay, come sit, eat, walk and sleep, or lie in a corner. So those questions are important, and more we ask those questions is what they're very, very sincere and honest parents also say that, oh, don't do this. Ensure that if he or she is doing this, don't pay attention. It's a tantrum. I respect those parents because they have invested so much of time and they have experience to share with, from which we can learn and ensure that the pet is safe and is well taken care of.
Like our request was, since Louis was going to stay with you during New Year's, our request was please stay with him because he's afraid of fireworks. He gets very hassled with fireworks and he paces. Exactly. So thank you so much about that. And happy birthday in advance for turning 1 year.
Thank you.
And Shantanu was asking, what are some common misconceptions people have about pet wellness?
I think it's a long list. And to start with, I think it starts with their emotional well-being. A happy pet is a healthy pet. A happy pet doesn't mean that you're feeding him 10 times a day and just giving him whatever he wants. Ensuring that they have right portion of meal at the right time of the day, knowing the allergies of the pet. The starting point is food for most of them. But apart from that, emotional well-being is very, very important. It's good that we train our pets to be alone at home for longer duration. But I believe they're like kids. And my fundamental belief on pets is that their existence is only on giving you affection, which is unconditional. They don't expect. You don't feed them, they won't bite you. You won't give them attention, they won't bite you. what human does is the opposite. If you are hungry, if you are angry, we show
We bite
emotion.
you.
We do that, right? So I think the wellness is about taking care of their emotional well-being, which is like being present emotionally for them. The way they do it, at least in some portion, we can plan a day to give it back to them.
I know, as if you cannot show your unconditional love and kindness towards your pet, please don't get one.
Absolutely.
So now Lavanya is asking a question, which is my next question as well. How do you handle pets that might be anxious or nervous, or that basically how do you deal with dogs with anxiety or maybe special needs?
Special need, okay, with anxiety, most of the pets, first of all, we tell the parent, do one thing. The person who's coming to drop the pet, or if we are coming to pick you up, uh, please ensure the most emotional person around should not see of the pet. And start having conversation with the pet that, hey, buddy, you're going to be fine. We went to the place and you'll do this, you'll do that, because mostly parents know what we're going to do here with them. And still, and it's the case with most, even if they've been tested and they've come here for multiple daycares, and the day they know that they have to stay for a night, first thing that they do is that they'll go and stand on the gate like kindergarten school. Where is mama, where is papa? Okay, that's what the immediate response is. They'll go and stand. Even if you try and engage them, they'll go and run and they'll stand next to the gate. The best way to deal with it is to accept their emotional state and engage them right at the point emotionally, right? Which starts from their giving them affection with physical touch, right? And more of a touch therapy is what we believe is a first step, because that's when they think that, okay, this person, whosoever is next to me, seems to be fine. And then moving it towards a little bit of a physical activity, because that's where the distraction would happen in the head. And at times, extreme anxiety cases, they take 2 to 3 days with us, but which means that the companion is next to the pet. And once they come out of the anxiety, the other part of the story is when they go back home, they are first of all not willing. And once they go back home, they take approximately same time to settle back home, because they've built a connection.
Yes. Louis didn't talk to us for 2 days when he came back. I don't know whether he was sad that we left him or sad to leave Smokey and Jada.
Louis is an active, happy baby. So he was more engaged with us. I think we got exhausted after some time that fine, Louis, let's take some rest. That was the case with Louis. So I think maybe he got his demand of physical activity was met. So probably he would have been missing that from us.
That and he craves attention.
Oh, yes.
And also, okay, so say for a pet, do you request pet parents to send their favorite toys or something to make their stay?
So what we tell them is, again, anxious parents, meaning one very interesting learning that I want to share here, and there's no hypothesis here. The learning is that every pet who's coming here has got a personality. Of course, they have their own personality, but when I'm saying personality, they have a personality of somebody at home, right? It could be the parent, it could be the kids, somebody. And we've eventually, and this I'm talking of every pet, because with us, the case is once a customer, always a customer. And I'm really thankful for that. And with those conversation and engagement, what we realize is that we could see a personality of a parent or the kid at home, and we know, okay, what he or she is trying to say, and where this temperament is coming, or where this affection is coming, where the demand is coming. So that's something which is my hypothesis basis my learning. Now coming to the point that what are the things that we would want a parent to send? Send one of their favorite toys. Send one cloth or something, a pillow or something of the closest family member, which would be in his room, and he can always go back and get reassurance, right? So these two are the only things. And of course, long list of food allergies and liking and disliking. All of that is something we always request for.
And in case if there's a fight that breaks out, or a dog that is a little more confrontational, so how do you deal with that?
See, fights have not happened. And it has happened only in one or two situations wherein there was misjudgment. Okay, when I say fight did not happen, because when we make two pets meet, it's always in a presence of a doctor and professionals, those who are watching the temperament. Will they or will they not? And in that control environment, at least 2 to 3 sessions is what. So in the afternoon, there is one expert who comes for group activity only. His time schedule is 11 to 2. What his job is to just come, and the focus is especially on non-compatible ones because they are not social. And that's again one of the things which they suffer with. Yes, we do give schedule to social compatible pets in that group activity time, but our attention is more on the pets, those who are not compatible, and how to make them compatible. So this expert ensures after 2 to 3 testing on the basis the control environment that we create. After that, we let them be part of a group activity. And we know which temperament they can do a group activity, which temperament pet they can't do a group activity with, right? So given all of these long list of do's and don'ts, fights have never happened because we never make them encounter extreme personality and to ready to kind of jump on each other. Yes, when I said misjudgment and calculation, two pets, those who have shown neither love nor hatred, and they were left. And then the incident wherein they have just jumped to attack on the other one. And I think companions, again, the training comes into play because companions, they took it on themselves, but ensuring that pet is safe. But that was the learning that we kind of gained with time.
This is very reassuring. So at least you know that if anything happens, there are people around to control
Yes.
You said that you have a medical team and a group of doctors. So how do you handle medical emergency? What are the protocols?
See, we take care of primary and secondary. And in one, amongst the borders, there was only one emergency that we had to deal with, which was again a parvo. So this pet was infected, parent never informed, and then he was a regular boarder. He came in, he was picked up from home, came in. We called up the parent and said that he's not looking fine. What's happening? That's when parents said, "Oh, he's got rid of loosies from last 2 days. These are the medications, and this is fine." Doctors immediately said that this is a power case. We called back the parents and said that we can't keep him. He's a power case, and rest of the pets are here, so we can't really take it. By then, parents were, I think they had boarded the flight or something like that. They said we can't come back. So that became I'm sharing this case because why it is important, and when we, or any responsible wellness space, when they're demanding many questions or asking, there's a reason behind it, right? There was an ignorance or an emergency at a family friend that made them to take a decision of just sending them to us and then not being bothered as to what could be the consequences. Unfortunately, the case turned out to be so bad that within 48 hours, the boy was struggling and parents were not reachable. They had given one emergency number. We could manage to get through them. By then, doctors were taking care of the treatment till secondary level here. And then after talking to the parent, we rushed the child to the hospital. The guardian did the documentation there. Until the time the parents came back, which happened, I think, 6 or 7 days. Till then, the team was there in shift to be with the pet while he was hospitalized. So when you talk about emergency, first of all, in this kind of a setup, emergency can happen only in two scenarios. Scenario one that I just told you, that there was a pre-existing and it happened, or there's something out of viral infection or something happened all of a sudden. In both the situation, the protocol is very simple. Till secondary, we take care of it. And the moment the doctor's judgment, the moment we see that the case is moving to tertiary, is when we keep the parent posted and we keep them talking about that what's happening. And the moment the doctor senses that it needs tertiary care, is when we raise an alarm to the parent and we tell them that these are the steps, is what we know of. Please suggest what is it that you want to do. So it's more of a partnership role that we do with them till the time they get back from wherever they are. So that's how we kind of take care of.
It's lovely to know how passionate your team is and that you're with your pet from every step of the way. So this is lovely. This is really nice.
Thank you.
We have so many more questions coming in live. Rashi is asking, do you incorporate any technology or innovative methods in your pet care services?
There is a long list that we are already working on, but knowing the comfort of the parents and their know-how, the process is slow. So when we talk of technology, technology comes into play, wherein you could see giving access, step one. Your pet is somewhere, having full access to the camera. We don't mind doing it, but there are legalities involved. We take a shot of some moments, middle of the night, pet doing something. We take a shot and we send it to the parent out of blues and stuff. But that's one of the most fundamental things to begin with. That I personally believe that wherever your pet is staying, you should have full access to the camera, and you can see what exactly your pet is doing, right? So that's step one of, if I pass through the legal requirement, that's first thing that I really want to extend to all the parents. Booking system online. It's almost like hotel, make my trip, and many apps. Just go click, put in a requirement, shoot it, and your booking is confirmed. But the point is that when it comes to pet, as a parent, I think it will take some more time for us to kind of give so much of time and attention to those details as well, because we feel more comfortable by picking up one and saying, hey, or sending one message, bookings from this and this date. Let's move on.
Sakshi is asking, how do you keep pet parents updated about their pets' activities and well-being? I think you already mentioned that in the course of the conversation. You send videos, updates constantly. I remember for us also, it was at least 10 videos and a few photos scattered in between. So we knew that Lewis was in good hands.
Yeah, other than that, in case at the end of the day, as I said, that anything that we see off about the pet, we keep them posted and we follow it through till the time we kind of see through either ways.
Meera is asking, hi Archana, what advice would you give to pet parents preparing their furry friends for a stay at a wellness center?
Conversation. Talk to them. They understand everything. And I think we're talking to the pet community, they know it. That even if they're not talking, their eye contacts, their ways by which they communicate. Please talk to them. Their separation anxiety comes from you. More you think, you're not talking again, more you think about the toughest day that you have at work, and when you go back, the first person to jump and lick your face and say, oh, it's fine, is your pet. So when you're thinking about boarding your pet, talk to yourself saying that he's going to be fine. He's going to have wonderful time. That's step one. Don't have that anxiety inside you. They will sense it, and they'll be better to handle the change that they are going to face.
Also, this is my recommendation, and what we did to prepare our pet is always visit.
That's very, very important. That's
do
very, very important.
Do a trial stay or a trial few hours and see how
your pet. Don't go by simple advice. Don't go by mere words. Hey, I'll take care of it. Hey, I know it all. I have this. No, please. Whatever the person is talking, please go see, confirm. Not emotionally. At that particular point in time, you need to use your analytical and brain skills more to see and gaze at if they're talking this, how they would be managing. And observe the process right in front of you. See how the pets are being taken care of. What are they doing when you're there? And you don't need to just go visit and come back. Spend hours. At the end of the day, your baby is going to stay there. There's no restriction of saying that you can only visit for an hour or 30 minutes. No, please spend time. See what's happening around. Because you can't make a judgment basis half an hour, 45 minutes, say that, hey, it's good or bad.
Yeah. And how your pet reacts. You have to. It's like.
See, I mentioned a while back. We try and offer them a meal. It's a sign that if your pet is eating, they don't eat. I mean, it's even the easiest lab who is always hungry will not eat in a stress moment. Mm-hmm. Right? So give them that space and time and see how they're responding. And always ask for more and more information, please.
Anand is asking, which is a nice question. What's the most rewarding part of running a pet wellness center for you?
Oh, I love to come to work every day. And I get to meet new personalities almost every second day. and the amount of love and warmth I get from them, it's my earning. Every day, that's what makes me come to work. I look forward to come to work. And my stress point and worry point at the end of the day, in the night before I go off to sleep, is not about transactional thing in life, but it's more about, oh, this boy, he just finished his eating food. This is his first day. Hope he sleeps well. So I'm happy with those thoughts when I'm going off to sleep than actually thinking about many transactions in life, which I think I've done my quota with.
And there's no better joy than seeing a big group of dogs coming at you with their tails wagging. That's joy.
Oh, yes.
Alia's asking, I want to know how often should pet owners bring their pets to a wellness center?
You mean to say any specific service? So there are many parents, those who see, surprising thing is that, and it's a good shift I see in, I would say, aware parents, those who are aware and conscious and committed. Saturday, Sundays are the days when there are bookings, when they want to come, visit, spend 3-4 hours seeing their pet jumping around, and they book a slot. They spend time here, they see, and they're just sitting in a corner, they're just seeing their pet and observing how they are responding and doing what they are doing. So I think it's important that you use a wellness center from pet's physical and emotional need perspective. See, a daycare or a play date is not about they come, jump, go and play or sleep. It's about how well they are really, their four legs being right. They love to jump around, explore around. And more you give them that opportunity, meet people, meet pet. And I think their wellness starts from there. So there are many, many aware parents, those who try and do that religiously. There are, no, when you ask this question, let me mention this, that from COVID till now, hybrid work environment to now people getting back to work full time. I'm so happy to see parents, and especially COVID babies, that they have taken monthly packages. They drop them here, like they go to work, they drop them here, or the days they have some other commitment, they would call for pickup services. And kids come here, they have their schedule and they do whatever they do after 6 hours, 5 hours, to take them back home. I'm happy to see that they're making good use of a wellness space and they demand. I'm happy with the parents, those who are demanding. Archana, I don't see that my pet is doing this. Can you please pay attention? And I feel good that, oh, I'm talking to a responsible parent, those who are asking me a questions rather than assuming. And I'm sorry, rather than assuming, okay, I've got 10 videos. Oh, he was looking fine. Oh, he was jumping around. Trust me, it is just one video. Please don't make judgment basis that.
So it's like a doggy daycare. That's actually this will be quite useful for people, especially if both parents are working. Or if there is a single parent at home. I mean, pet parent. Jenny is asking, in what ways do you incorporate nutritional counseling and dietary management into your approach to pet wellness?
See, when we get a pet, again, it's something which has to come from the parent first. But the moment thanks to the doctors, when we see the pet, a breed, and we see them underweight, overweight, inactive, hyperactive, so we ask them, okay, what diet and stuff, and especially after that consulting we do with them, and when they're coming for a boarding, we tell them, okay, fine, tell me, like currently we have a case who's an OB, and this boy is here for a month. The dietitian and the diet is helping us in last 25 days, he's lost 2 kg. The focus is only on his activity and diet schedule that we're trying to do. Idea is not to make him go hungry. Idea is not to give him lesser portions. It's just that the quantum of food and the variations that we have chosen for the pet, and ensuring other than regular walk, because he's quite an inactive dog. So approach is to get him into an activity mode, which he's responding well. So we do take such pets wherein your target is to work around the diet management or weight management of the pet.
Fair enough. Zaid is asking, could you guys please tell me what are some signs that a pet might need to visit a wellness center? I think you've already sort of answered. If you have a pet that you would like like a doggy daycare, you can send your pet. Anything else? you'd like to add to that question?
I think just observe them. If you find them, other than the change in the climate, if you find them to be gloomy and just sitting in one corner, eating and sleeping, just pay attention. You need to engage them. Not
Yes.
your way, their way.
That's a good point. And last, Desmond is asking, are there any special treats or meals you offer to the pets? And also, how do you ensure comfort of your pets?
I don't know how comfort part can be answered here, but in terms of treat, we do not give them. There are certain standard treats which are calcium supplements and chewy bones and a little bit of that. That also we give it to them post consulting with the parents, but mostly we try and use, fresh chicken, boiled chicken in small portions. That's what we use as a treat. Or just dipping your finger in an olive oil, or dipping your finger in your bit of a butter is when they love to, especially for the pets, those who just love to lick you, right? So bit of treat and bit of a playtime with them using that.
So only natural, nothing
Yes.
that preservatives or chemicals. Just make sure that your pet is eating right.
Correct.
Now, this is my favorite question. What is your favorite dog?
What is my
Favorite dog story or favorite story?
Oh, the picture that you have put in for the conversation today,
Yes.
he was my second customer. He's a cane corso. All right. And so we kind of got all the information and everything seems to be fine, but staff was new. They were trained, but they were new. Cane corso, we all read the breed and everything, and including the dog, we all were scared that cane corso meaning cane corso. How are we going to deal with it? So it so happened that, and that really gave me confidence. So cane corso's first night, he's a baby, right? He's a baby, but we know that he's a cane corso. That's how we think, right? He's behaving like a baby, jumping around, but he's a huge baby. Even if he'll jump on you, what will happen? You can imagine. You can see the picture. But I think the best part of the story was that first 24 hours, I was at the center along with the doctor and the team, because I just wanted to ensure that nothing can go wrong. We did not had experience then to take care of such a large breed, and the requirement of that breed was very, very different. And I think that 24 hours, me being there taught me many, many things, and made the center and place what we are today. Every small information, even I still remember that the first call that I made to the parent in the middle of the night was that he has not had water since the time he's come. So please tell us, how do you make him drink water? So she said, oh, don't worry. He will drink once in a day and he'll finish one big bowl. I said, it's already been 8 hours and he's not had even a sip of water. Oh, you don't worry. You please go to sleep, Archana. Morning, just keep a bowl and he'll finish it. And that's what happened. What I'm trying to say that, like a normal anxious parent, I was worried that he's not had a sip of water. Parent knew it. They didn't tell us. It only happened when I happened to call in the middle of the night and said, okay, don't worry. Morning, you'll find the bowl finished. I mean, that was funny. And now I can say it was funny. But trust me, it gave me more confidence and a lot more learning with small details that I need to focus.
I know dogs' personalities and temperaments are highly unique.
Absolutely.
And they have their good days and bad days as well. Our last question before we end the session. What would be your advice to pet parents considering a pet wellness center?
I think don't, as I mentioned a while back, simple advice. Trust your pet. Don't listen to stories and assume that if something has gone wrong with your pet, it's because of the temperament of your pet. Something somewhere went wrong, right? So when you choose a place for your pet, please trust your pet. Like, I think we've grown up hearing this from our parents that listen to your kid first. Trust your kid first. Just because it's a pet, assuming a scenario that a pet got into a fight or got bitten, or something similar happened, or something on similar lines must have happened. I'm only saying that trust your pet and temperament. And trust a place which can take care of your pet's temperament. Most important. There is no right and wrong. There is no aggressive or there is no docile. If my pet is aggressive, my pet is aggressive. These are the traits. This is what he does. Can you take care of it? How will you take care of it? Right? These are the do's and don'ts. So I think I can only say that trust your kid.
This conversation has been a lot of fun. We have learned so much, and thank you so much, Archana, for taking the time out today. How can people get in touch with you?
Oh, so you have our Insta handle. You have the number on that. We are forever available, and we'll try and respond back. We won't take more than 24 hours, trust me. If there's an SOS, drop a message. We'll call you back.
And it's called Smokey and Charlie. You can find them on Instagram as well.
Yes, please.
Anyway, thank you so much for this lovely conversation. We need to have you back sometime. Maybe we'll talk about some other aspects of doggy daycare or something like that. But
Thank
anyway,
you. It was lovely talking to you.
sure. Have a good day. Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.